The fourth USS Dale was Farragut-class destroyer in the United States Navy during World War II. Dale received 12 battle stars for World War II service. She was named for Richard Dale. Dale launched the 23rd of January 1935 by Brooklyn Navy Yard, sponsored by Mrs. E. C. Dale, and commissioned the 17th of June 1935. Commander West A. Corn in command. Dale was decommissioned the 16th of October 1945 and sold the 20th of December 1946. Pre-World War II, Dale made a southern cruise from the 13th of February to the 6th of March 1936, visiting Norfolk, Dry Tortugas, Florida, and Galveston, Texas, and acted as escort for President F.D. Roosevelt's cruise in the Bahamas before departing for the West Coast. She took part in fleet problems, made a goodwill visit to Callao, Peru, served as training ship for the gunnery school at San Diego, and cruised to Hawaii, Alaska, and the Caribbean on exercises. On the 5th of October 1939, Dale departed San Diego to join the Hawaiian detachment for training and patrol. Late 1941 Pearl Harbor attack. Early 1942, at the commencement of the raid on Pearl Harbor, Th. at 0750, December 7, 1941, the Dale was moored with ships of Destroyer Division 2 at berth X-14, Pearl Harbor, Th. The order of ships in the nest from starboard to port was as follows: US Ale-1, Farragut, Dale, Monaghan. The ship's head was 030. Boiler number 3 was in use for auxiliary purposes. The officer of the deck, Ensign F. M. Radel, U.S.N., acting commanding officer, saw the first plane attack the USS Utah from westward. General quarters was immediately sounded and orders given to set material conditioner firm and to light off all boilers. At 0810, fire was opened on Japanese planes using the after 50 caliber machine guns, followed shortly thereafter by the after 5-inch AA guns. The presence of the ships on either side of the Dale prevented the use of all forward guns. The forward 24 inches searchlight made it impossible to bring the director to bear in the direction of the level bombing attacks on the battleships. The 5 inches guns operated in local control with very poor results, the shots bursting well behind and short of the targets. A squadron of level bombers flying at about 10,000 feet above the battleships on alternately northerly and southerly courses. 0815, an enemy dive bomber attacking the USS Raleigh from westward came under severe machine gun fire from all the ships in the nest, nosed down and crashed into the harbor. At 0820 it was reported to the senior officer in the nest, Lieutenant Commander W. P. Burford, U.S.N., commanding USS Monaghan, that the Dale was ready to get underway. While backing clear, a torpedo apparently aimed at the US Raleigh passed under the bow of the Dale and exploded on Ford Island. 0844 stopped while the USS Monaghan dropped depth charges on Japanese submarine close aboard the starboard side of the USS Curtis, changed speed to 25 knots and proceeded out of harbor ahead of USS Monaghan. Until the Dale neared the submarine net, she did not come under the direct fire of the planes. Apparently the Japanese wished to sink a ship in the entrance, thereby blocking the harbor. As the Dale came under severe dive bombing and machine gun attacks near the entrance, machine gun fire from the ship served to keep the attackers from approaching too closely, although there were several close misses, which caused no damage. The bombs buried themselves in the bottom of the channel before exploding. At 0907, cleared the entrance buoys and by stopping the port engine and coming hard left rudder, caused a flight of 3 Japanese dive bombers to overshoot the mark. As they went by the starboard side close to the water, machine gun fire from the Dale struck the leading plane, causing it to burst into flame and to crash into the water on the outer starboard side of the restricted area. The remaining two planes made a very half-hearted attempt to attack again but were driven off by machine gun fire. 0911, the Dale established offshore patrol in Sector 1. Due to repeated airplane attacks, the ship was forced to make frequent changes of course and to run at high speed, thereby rendering the sound gear inoperative. 0927, changed speed to 12 knots, patrolling Sector 1. High-speed wakes and depth charging from other destroyers in the vicinity rendered the sound gear practically useless. 1114, the USS Warden sorted. The Dale formed on the Warden as third ship in column. After investigating the falsely reported presence of the three enemy transports off Barber's Point, a formed inner anti-submarine screen on the USS Detroit, Phoenix, St. Louis, and Astoria, the Dale was assigned Station 9. The task force speed was 25 knots. At 1410, the LP pinion bearings on the reduction gear of the port engine failed. An attempt was made to stay with the assigned task force, as the maximum speed obtainable with one engine was 22 knots. The Dale fell steadily behind. The starboard engine began heating excessively, forcing a further reduction of speed to 10 knots. Retired to the southward at 1654. Stopped at 1930 and later until 0500 the following morning attempting repairs. Rendezvoused with task force at dawn, but as full repairs to the engine were impossible without the assistance of the tender, the Dale could not maintain her assigned screening station. Under orders of Commander Destroyer's Battle Force, the Dale established offshore patrol in Sector 1 until the entrance of Task Group 8.4 on Monday, December 8, 1941. There were no casualties on board and no damage was caused by the Japanese. The Japanese plane shot down by the Dale off the entrance buoys was observed to the commanding officer. Two other planes, both dive bombers, were claimed by members of the crew to have been shot down by the Dale. For the 14th of December 1941 to the 17th of March 1942, Dale screened Lexington and Yorktown, covering the strikes on the Sally-Mawale campaign area of New Guinea on the 10th of March. Dale returned to Pearl Harbor on escort and training duty until the 11th of May when she departed for Mare Island and an overhaul. On the 5th of June she sailed from San Francisco, with others, to back up the task forces engaged in the Battle of Midway from the 6th of July to the 17th of August. She was assigned to convoy duty between Viti Levu, Fijis, and Afate and Espiritu Santo, New Hebrides, in preparation for the assault on Guadalcanal. She covered the landings, escorted transports loaded with reinforcements to the bitterly contested island from the 18th of August to the 21st of September, then sailed to Pearl Harbor for escort and training duty until the 10th of November. She sailed to screen battleships Washington and South Dakota into Pearl Harbor, continuing with South Dakota to San Francisco. 1943, Aleutians Campaign. On the 9th of January 1943, Dale sailed from San Francisco for duty in Aleutian waters. She supported the occupation of Amchitka between the 23rd of January and the 19th of March, patrolling and repelling attacks by the Japanese. On the 22nd of March her group sailed to patrol west of Attu to intercept and destroy enemy shipping bound for Attu-Akiska. 4 days later, the group engaged engaged a numerically superior Japanese force screening reinforcements to a two in the resulting Battle of the Komandorski Islands. At one time or another, Dale took all of the Japanese cruisers under fire as well as screening the damaged Salt Lake City. The Japanese reinforcements failed to reach a two. She screened transports and fire support ships into a two for the assault on the 11th of May, then patrolled off a two until the 1st of August. She joined in the pre-invasion bombardment of Kiska the 2nd of August, then screened the transports which landed men of the 13th of August. She joined Kane for a reconnaissance of Rat and Bodir Islands the 22nd of August, finding no Japanese present. 1943–1944 Central Pacific, sailing from Adak the 5th of September 1943. Dale arrived at Pearl Harbor the 16th of September to screen the group which on the 8th of October fueled carriers returning from a two-day airstrike on Wake. Dale trained at Pearl Harbor until the 5th of November. She escorted a group of LSDs to the landings on Macon of the 20th of November, and then sailed for the West Coast. Dale got underway from San Diego the 13th of January 1944 to screen carriers during the assaults on Kwajalein and Eniwetok. She served in the Marshals on escort and patrol until the 22nd of March, then screened TF-58 during air attacks on Palau, Jap, Ulithi and Wuliai between the 30th of March and the 1st of April, raids supporting the Hollandia operations from 21 to the 24th of April, and strikes on Truk, Satawan and Ponape from the 20th of April to the 1st of May. 1944–45 Marianas, Philippines and Japan. For the 6th of June to the 30th of July, Dale served in the Marianas, bombarding Saipan and Guam, screening carriers during the Battle of the Philippine Sea, and supporting underwater demolition teams. Overhauled at Bremerton Navy Yard from August to October, Dale returned to Pearl Harbor, and then sailed to Ulithi to join TF-38. She screened this group during Philippines invasion between the 25th of November and the 8th of December, and while the group refueled TF-38 in the South China Sea during raids on the Chinese coast, Formosa, Luzon, and Okinawa. She remained with the group during carrier strikes on Tokyo and Kobe. Dale cruised with the logistics group on 5 voyages between Ulithi and the Okinawa area between the 13th of March 1945 and the 11th of June, when she sailed for Leyte to join a carrier division's screen. Dale returned to Leyte to escort a convoy to Ulithi and patrolled there until the 29th of July, and then escorted a convoy to Okinawa. End of war and fate. Anchored at Guam when the war ended, Dale convoyed 2 ships to a rendezvous on the 19th of August off Japan, then sailed homeward, arriving at San Diego the 7th of September. 4 days later she was underway for the East Coast. Arriving at New York the 25th of September, Dale was decommissioned the 16th of October 1945 and sold the 20th of December 1946. Dale received 12 battle stars for World War II service.